This conference will now be recorded.
So in the previous session, we have discussed about the JSON classes, how to prepare the JSON format, and what are the various principles and the rules that we need to follow upon preparing the JSON format of content, and what are the various data types JSON supports we have discussed. And along with that, we have prepared the various JSON formats related to our records, wrapper classes, apex classes for everything. It may be the collection of records also we have prepared. But in the previous session, we have prepared this particular JSON format manually. Manually, we have prepared this JSON format. So now today we'll see how to prepare this JSON format of representation through programmatically. Okay, through programmatically, how can we represent? Why? Because is suppose for example, assume that. So why this programmatical part has came into the picture? Now let me explain. For example, I have an object. I have an object. So this is my account object. In this account object, I'm having 2000 records. I'm having 2000 account records are available inside my account object. Now, so now I have a third-party system. For example, I have a third-party system. So this is like some SAP or Siebel, any application, whatever it might be. I'm having an SAP application. I want to send all these 2000 records to my SAP system, so that these 2000 records we can migrate from Salesforce to SAP. Then how can we pass these records? Upon passing these records from your Salesforce application to the SAP system, we have to convert these records into JSON format, right? Yes. Because Salesforce is maintaining its own object format, SAP is having its own internal object format. So both may not be in sync. Both may not be in the same format. So at that time, we need to pass this data to my SAP system, which should be understandable by the SAP system, so that it can collect those records and it can able to save those records inside that SAP system. So that I would like to collect these 2000 records, and these 2000 records I want to convert into the JSON format. So now I want to pass this data to my third-party system in the form of JSON format. In the form of JSON format, I would like to pass this data. That is my requirement. I need to forward this data in the form of JSON format. That is my requirement. Then what we can do? What we can do? 2000 records are available. In the previous session, you know that in the last session, we have discussed how to convert a Salesforce record into the JSON format. We know that format here. Like in the previous session, we have discussed. Like for example, we are having one account record. This is one account record over here. This is one account record which we have represented over here. Okay, which we have represented. This is one record here. In order to represent one account record, this much of lines of code we have prepared manually. If it is some multiple records, we have used an array. Okay, this is the array as part of my opportunity object. So now to store the multiple opportunity records, we have prepared an array. In each and every record, we are going to be storing some field values, not all the field values. Name field value, amount, and the stage name, lead source, probability. These are the values which we have stored. So now this is one record, and this is the second record, and this is the third record. Like that, I'm having 2000 records are there. Now tell me, will you able to spend that much of time to prepare this 2000 records manually in the form of JSON format? No, it will take more time. It will take more time. So in this case, what we can do, whenever if you want to convert your Salesforce object types, okay, Salesforce object types into the string type, that means this is my Salesforce record. That means it's a Salesforce object type, nothing but one Salesforce account record or opportunity record, or it may be case record, solution record, whatever. So now this is my Salesforce object type. So now, whenever if you want to convert your Apex type of information into the JSON format, through programmatically, we are using the help of a class called as JSON generator class. We are using JSON generator class. By using this JSON generator class, we can able to create the JSON format of the records through programmatically. We no need to prepare that format manually by our own. We can prepare that JSON format of content through programmatically also with the help of this JSON generator class. So in this case, what needs to be done here in order to convert this 2000 records into a JSON format? First of all, we have to write an SOT code. First of all, we have to get the records. First of all, we have to get those records by using SOT code. So we have to prepare this SOQL query. Prepare the SOQL query first. You know how to prepare this SOQL query. Through this SOQL query, we are going to be collecting the records from my object. Collect the records from the object, and then whatever the record that you are collected through SOQL query, those records you are storing inside a collection. Okay, inside a collection, we are storing those records. Like for example, we are storing in the form of list of account. Okay, list of account. For example, any object, whatever you want, you can give. So this is my collection, which will be returning the list of account records. So now what we need to do, whatever the records are available inside my collection, now these records I want to convert into JSON format. Whatever the account record that I have collected through my SOQL query, those records I would like to convert into my JSON format. Then what we can do, for that one, we are going to be using the help of JSON parser class. So JSON generator class. Here, we are going to be using a class called as JSON generator class. We can use JSON generator. We have to use the JSON generated class. Through this JSON generator class, whatever the records that we have right now, those records we can able to convert into the JSON format through programmatically. It may be one record, it may be 10 records, it may be thousands of records also. We can convert into the JSON format from list of account, nothing but from account type to JSON format we can convert, and we can able to send the data to the third-party system to whomever. So that what we need to do is we have to collect all these records from the object, store inside a collection, and those records we can able to convert into the JSON format through with the help of this JSON generator class. So JSON generator is a ready-made class which has been given by Salesforce by default, which is used to convert your account records into string format. Nothing but account means what? My Salesforce object type. That means my Apex type to the string format. Nothing but serialization process over here. There also serialization process only here, because that you know that JSON is a format which is going to be supporting, which is used to perform the serialization process and deserialization process. So what do you mean by serialization? Serialization represents converting the data from object type to string type is called as serialization process. So now what I want to do is I want to convert this account records information into the JSON format. JSON is what purely a string format of representation. It's a human readable text format of representation over here, where all the values we are going to be storing in the form of key and the value pairs. Now, in this case, how can we use this JSON generator class in order to convert this a subject type of information into JSON format. Right now we'll see what are the various methods are available inside this JSON generator class and how can we use those methods to prepare the JSON format through programmatically. We'll see practically, and how to convert a single record. We'll see how to convert the multiple records also. I will show you in the form of an array also through programmatically. How can we do that? I will show you practically in this case. Okay, now, so that the main purpose of this JSON generator class is JSON generator class is used to implement the serialization through programmatically. In order to, okay, in order to convert that your Salesforce object types into the JSON format through programmatically, we are going to using JSON generator class. Now let's see how can we use this JSON generator class, and then how can we prepare that JSON format. We'll see practically in this case. Let me explain that each and every method one by one with the practical examples also. So now JSON generator. This class is used to implement the serialization. Implement the serialization process through programmatically. We can convert the Apex object types into the string formats to the string format by using JSON generator class. JSON generator class. JSON generator class. Then how can we convert this one? Now let's see. So what are the various methods are available as part of this JSON generator class? Now let's see. So whenever we are going to be using this JSON generator class to generate the JSON format, to prepare the JSON format through programmatically, we are using the help of this JSON generator class. So now first of all, we have to create the object of the JSON generator class. Then how can we use this? Now, in this case, so we need to create the JSON generator object as below. So how can we create that object over there so that we can specify system dot JSON generator? We can specify the object name equals to system dot JSON dot create a generator. Create a generator of. So this is the syntax. First of all, we have to create the object of this JSON generator class. So upon creating this, we have to follow this syntax. Inside that system dot JSON class is having a ready-made method called as create generator, which will be creating a JSON generator object, which will create a JSON generator object. So in order to create that JSON generator object, we are going to be using the help of a method called as create generator. By using this create generator method, we can able to create the object of JSON generator class. Like for example, system dot JSON generator. Now some JSON generator equals to system dot JSON dot create generator of. So this is the syntax we have to follow in order to create the JSON generator object. And from there, we can able to start preparing the JSON content. By using this JSON generator, we can able to prepare your one content over there. So upon preparing the content, we are having the various methods are available. Now, to represent the Apex types into the JSON format, we have to use the below methods. What are the various methods are available as part of this JSON generator class? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, in this case, how can we use this? So for this one, the methods. The first method. For example, whenever we are preparing the JSON format, first of all, we have to start with this particular braces. This is a braces. So now, whenever if you want to write this starting braces over here, okay, whenever if you want to write that starting braces over here, we are going to be using a method called as write start object. Okay, write start object. Whenever if you want to prepare this, if you want to write this particular braces, nothing but starting braces, then we have to use a method called as a write start object, because this is the starting of that object here. Because what the content we are placing inside this, the curly braces, this is called as an object. So this is the starting of that object over here. This is the ending of this object. In between that, we can able to write the various, okay, the values, various the fields we can able to write inside this. So in this case, this is the starting of the object here. Starting of object, and this is the ending of this object, ending of the object. So now here in this case, if you want to write this starting of this object through programmatically, we have to use a method called as write start object. Write start object. If you want to write this ending of this braces through programmatically, we have to use write end object. Write start object, write end object. These are the two methods which we are using right now. So now, the first method over here. The first method which we are going to be using is write start object and then write end object. These are the two methods which we are using right now. Now the first one is write start object. Okay, write start object, which is going to be writing the opening curly braces. Second, write end object. So now this method is used to place the ending of that object here. In order to write the ending of the object in the JSON content, we are using this write end object. Now, this method is used to write the starting of the object, that is curly braces. Starting curly braces. In the JSON content. In order to write that starting of the curly braces in that JSON content, we are going to be using this write start object. Second one, write end object. This method is used to write the ending of the object. Ending of the object, that is ending curly braces inside the JSON content. Inside the JSON content, if you want to write the ending of the curly braces, we are using this write end object. Next, sometimes here I want to prepare an array. How to prepare that array? Array should be starting with this particular braces, nothing but square braces. This is the starting of the array. This is the ending of the array. In between that, we can place so many elements, so many objects also. So now this is the starting of the array. Starting of the array. And this is the ending of the array. Ending of the array. So if you want to write that starting of that array, we have to use a method called as write start array. Write start array. If you want to write the ending of that array, we have to use the write end array. Write end array. So now here in this case, whenever if you want to write that, starting of that array or ending of that array, we are going to be using this method called as write start array and then write end array. These are the two more methods here in order to prepare the array formats. The next one, write start array method. This method is used to write the starting of the array. So now I'm indicating, okay, starting square braces. And then fourth method is write end array. So now this method is used to write the ending of this array. Ending of the array. So now this is ending that ending square braces. Ending square braces. So that to prepare that starting of the array and then ending of the array, we are going to use this write start array, write end array method. Now, in between that, we are going to be writing some content. In between that, we are writing some content. For example, this is the JSON object here. Here, I would like to write some information. Okay, I would like to write some information. How can we write that information? Now, let's see practically over here. For example, here, I want to write some content here. What is the content I want to write? Like I want to indicate that customer code 1001. So this is the information I would like to store. So in this case, upon preparing this particular element inside this object, we have two ways available. We have two ways available. I will show you both the ways. Okay, I will show you both the ways. In this case here, what needs to be done? In order to write this particular content, nothing but key. This is the key, this is the value here. Okay, you know that part here. This is the key. And this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. Whenever we are going to preparing this element inside this JSON format, both the key and the value, both we can specify separately. Okay, both we can able to specify separately also over here. Or else both we can able to write in a single statement also. Both are available. Let me show you both the information. In this case, so what we can do is, now let's see practically in this case. Whenever we are going to be writing this information, so I would like to write this key. I would like to place this key. Whenever if you want to place that key, then we have to use a method called as write field name, because this is the field name, this is the field value. So to write this a field name, we are going to be using this here. Write field name. Here we can specify the name of that field. What is that field name? Nothing but key name over here. Key name we can specify. If you want to write the value, then value will be of type what? Value is a numerical. Is it a boolean? Is it a date type? Is it a string type? Is it null or what? I want to indicate. This is what numerical here. In this case here, whenever if you want to write that numerical, then we have to use a method called as write number. Here we can able to pass a value 100. So whenever we are going to be using this two methods, now to specify the key, we are going to be using this write field name. You can specify the name of that field. That means the key. In order to indicate the value, we are going to be using write number, because this is the numerical value we are using. This is a numerical value. Suppose, for example, if you want to write the content like this, I would like to indicate customer name. I want to indicate the customer name, which is some Rajesh Kumar. Rajesh Kumar. So this is also of type string. This is also of type string. So in this case, what needs to be done? To specify this key, okay? To specify this key, we are going to be writing this information. Okay. Now, to specify this key, we are going to be using this method. Okay, write field name. To specify the key, we are using this write field name. Here I'm indicating that field name as like customer name. Customer. So what is the value over here? We can specify. Value is, I'm indicating the value will be of type string. So that here I'm indicating that information. So for that one, whenever if you want to write that string information inside this, whenever if you want to write that string information, we are going to be indicating write string. We can specify that. What is that name? Rajesh Kumar. Okay, Rajesh Kumar. Like that, we can able to specify that information. Whenever if you want to specify the field name, nothing but key name, we are using this write field name. Here we can specify the name of that field, like as customer code, customer name, whatever, anything. And whenever if you're specifying the values, then we have to indicate the respective method, because value may be different types. It may be numerical, it may be string, or it may be null, it may be boolean, it may be date, whatever, anything. So it depends upon your requirement, we can able to specify over here. Now, so now here in this case, okay, how can we implement this functionality? Now let's see it practically here. So now let me show you these methods first. Now, the next thing, the fifth method is write field name. Write field name, we can specify the field. This method is used to create a new element in the JSON content. JSON content. JSON content. In this one, we can specify. It will write. It will write the field name. It will write the field name. Like for example, now we can specify write field name. Here I'm indicating customer code. Only the key it will be adding over here. Okay, only the key will be getting added over here. If you want to add the value, then we have to specify separately. For that one, we are using the various methods. Now, we are going to be having the various methods are available. Now, I'm indicating this. We are having that methods called as write number. Here we can specify the integer, nothing but number value. This method is used to include the numerical value as the value for the specified element. For the specified element. For example, I'm indicating write number of 100. Write number of 100. Now, the seventh method. Like the similar way, we are having few more methods. Write string. Write string. We can specify the string value. Here we can able to add the string value over here for that specified element. I'm indicating that method as write string. I'm giving that like as some Pawan Kumar. Pawan Kumar. Next one. The next method is the write boolean. Okay, we are using that method called as write boolean. So whenever if you want to add that the boolean value over here, we can specify write boolean. We can specify either true or false. Now, this method is used to write the boolean value for the specified element. Boolean value as a value for the specified element. Then how can we use this one? I'm indicating write boolean of true. If you want to pass the true value, then you can pass the true. If you want to pass the false, then you can pass the false. No. Ninth one. If you want to write the null value, then you can specify write null. This method will be including the null value. If you want to make any field value as null, then we can specify write null. So now in this case directly we can specify write null. So now in this case, by using this methods, we can able to write this null value also inside this. If you want to write the date value, then you can specify write date. We can specify the date value. Whenever if you want to write the date value, then we are going to use this method to write the date value. Okay, for your element, we are going to be using this write a date method. So for example, we can specify write a date. Here we can able to specify the date value over here. Date dot new instance. Date dot new instance of I'm indicating because 1990 second month and the 24 will be the date. Like that, we can able to indicate this information. Like that, we are going to preparing this the content over here. And now, in this case, there is a small drawback. What is the drawback? Now let me explain. Now, for example, assume that I want to prepare a small JSON object. I want to prepare a small JSON object. Now, I want to prepare a small JSON object. Like how we need to specify this JSON object, let us customer name some Ram Kumar. This is the JSON object which I would like to prepare. For this one, to write this key, we are writing one separate method. To write this value, we are using a separate method. To avoid this problem, okay, to avoid this problem, we are going to using few more methods which will be used to write both the key and the value in one shot. As of now, to write this key, we are going to using a separate method. To write the value, we are using a different method. To write this key, this is the key name. For that one, I'm using write field name. To write this value will be of type string. So that to write the string value, I'm going to be using this write string method. So two methods we need to use that. For the key, a separate method. For the value, a separate method. So to avoid this problem, instead of using the two methods, we can able to prepare this complete element. Okay, this complete element in one shot. Okay, this complete element in one shot by using a separate method also over here. So now here in this case, what is that method? Okay, now let's see practically in this case. So in this case, we are having some set of methods has been given by Salesforce by default. Now to prepare this complete element in one shot, we are going to be using separate methods. So what are those methods? Now let me explain over. Now the next one. Write a string field. Okay. Write a string field. So what is this write string field? Here we can able to specify the key name and the value. When if you are going to be preparing one element which will be accepting the value of type string. Okay, if you want to write some string value inside this particular content, then we have to use a method called as write string field. Write string field is a method which is used to add a string element to your JSON content. Okay, this method is used to add a string element to the JSON content. JSON content through program. Through programming, we can able to add. For example, we can able to write string field. Here we can able to specify customer name, comma, specify the key and the value. What is the value? I'm going to be indicating like as some Kiran Kumar. Kiran Kumar. I would like to write string field. I'm indicating industry. Now I'm indicating like as some bank. Like that. Now, like the similar way, you can raise a question. Sir, I want to add some number value because I want to add customer number, customer code. This is the numerical type. So then what we can do, we are going to be using a method called as write number field. Write number. In this case, we have to specify the key name, comma, numerical value. Numerical value. This method is used to add a numerical element to the JSON content. In order to add a numerical element to the JSON content, we are using a method called as write number field. Like for example, I'm indicating this. Write number field. Here we can specify that. Annual revenue. I'm indicating that numerical value. Numerical value we don't need to include in the single quotation. Directly we can indicate 20 lakhs. Like the similar way. So whenever if you are going to be adding that, whenever if you want to add any Boolean element over here, how can we add the Boolean element inside this? In order to add the Boolean element, we are using a method called as write Boolean field. Write Boolean. So we can able to specify the field name, and then you can specify the value. This method is used to add a Boolean field to the JSON content. For example, I'm indicating write a Boolean field. We are going to be indicating. Now I'm indicating that is active. Is active. I'm indicating the value. So it will be adding the complete element over here in one shot. The next one, whenever if you want to write that the date value, in this case, what we can do? Write date field. In this case, we can specify the field name, comma, date value. Date value. This method is used to write. This method is used to write the date value, nothing but date element. Date element to the JSON content. To the JSON content. I'm indicating. Write a date field. I'm indicating birth date. And then pass the date value. How can we pass data dot new instance? You know, in order to prepare the date values, we are using data dot new instance. I'm indicating the month like as a year, like as 1990, month is some 4, and then the number of the date will be like as some 27. Like that, we can able to write that information also inside this. So like that, whenever we are going to be adding some information, whenever if you want to add some element to that JSON content through programmatically, we are going to be using this kind of methods. If you want to write the date time values, then we can able to use the date time field. So we are having that method. we have a method called as write a date time field. Date time. We can specify the date time value. In this case, we have to specify date time dot new instance. Now, date time dot new instance, we have to pass the year, month, and the day, and then we have to specify the hours. Hours I'm indicating like as some 04, and the minutes is equals to like as some 20 minutes, and then 10 seconds. We can specify that information also. Date time dot new instance. Now, in this case, I'm indicating that. So now you need to specify the created date time. Okay, created date time. So I'm indicating this information also. Like this here, we can able to prepare, we can able to add the various elements inside this. Okay, we are going to be adding various elements inside this. So now here in this case, how can we prepare this JSON content through programmatically? Now let's see practically in this case. Through programmatically, how can we prepare this JSON content? Now let's see. For example, let me take a small example here. So let me take a small example. Take this class. So this is the class over here. Take this class, or it may be record also. Let me take a record also. For example, this is my account record. So I want to prepare the record for the JSON format. Let me take this example. Take a small list. So prepare the JSON format for the lead record, which contains the below fields: first name field, last name, company, title, phone, status, rating, industry, annual revenue, city. But most of the fields are string fields, and then we have one field is available that is called as annual revenue, which is a numerical field. Then how can we prepare this object? Now let me show you practically in this case. How to prepare this object? Now let me show you. I want to represent this information. First of all, whenever we are preparing this one, we have to start with the starting of that array and then ending of the, so starting of the object and the ending of the object. Here we can able to specify the elements over here, like as first name, and then we can specify the value, like as some Ram. Last name, like that. Last name, I would like to enter some Kumar. Like that, here we are going to indicating this information one by one, one by one, one by one. So we need to prepare this a format in order to represent this lead record information inside my Salesforce instance. This is the lead record here. This is the lead record details is available. To identify this lead record details, we need some key and the value. This entire object we can able to store inside that a separate element also. But now I want to prepare this only this lead record information. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. And then I will show you how to represent a collection of records also. I will show you practically two examples. Let me log in into my Salesforce instance. So let me go to the developer console. I'm preparing a class. I'm preparing a class. JSON generator. JSON generator. I'm preparing a class with the name JSON generator helper. Inside this, I'm preparing a method. Public static void create JSON for lead record. Create JSON content. Okay, create JSON content. So what is my record? I'm going to be indicating this. There is a lead record is available over. Okay, there is a lead record. There is a lead record is available. Now, so in this case, how can we prepare this JSON content from a lead record? Now let's see practically in this case. So now I am having that various of fields are available for my lead. First name, last name, company, title, phone, status, rating, industry, annual revenue, city. These are the various of fields are available. How to prepare this JSON format? Now let's see practically in this case. So first of all, we have to create the JSON generator object because we are creating the JSON generator. By using system.json generator, create the object of the JSON generator class. I'm using that. So lead generator, lead gen equals to, I'm using creating the object system.json.create generator. There is a method is available, create generator. We are passing the value equals to. So I'm going to be generating the JSON generator object. So now with the help of this JSON generator object, we can able to write some content inside this. We can prepare that content in the JSON content. So now, first of all, what we need to do, we need to write that the starting of the braces over here. For that one, what we can do? How can we write this information starting of that object over here? In this case, what we can do, first of all, we have to specify this information also. Now, I'm indicating. Lead generator write start object. Okay, there is another called write start object. Now, so I'm going to be using that method called as write start object. It is going to be adding the starting curly braces over here. Now, next one, I would like to specify the ending braces. Write end object. Write end object. I'm using this write start object, write end object here. So it is going to starting with the starting curly braces, and then this is going to be ending with the ending curly braces. In between that, we need to write that element over. Okay, we need to write the elements. So as part of JSON, first of all, we have to start with the starting braces and then ending braces. In between that, we need to write the elements. It depends upon the data type. So that here I'm going to write in this each and every element. I'm writing the elements over here. How can we write the elements? Now let's see. First of all, the first name element. How can we write? First name is of type what? String. So that I'm using. Let me show you the two methods also, because two types of methods I showed you here. First one, lead generator dot write field name. Okay, write field name. Here I'm indicating what is the field name over here. The field name is the first name. Field name is first name field. What is the value you are going to add? I would like to pass the value as Ram Kumar. So for that one, we can specify write gen dot, and then what is the type of this element string? So that I'm using write string. Okay, write a string. Here we can able to pass that. I'm going to be indicating the value as like some Ram Kumar. Okay, Ram. So that means here, in order to specify the key, I'm using this first name. That this is the right field name method to specify the value. Okay, I'm using this right string. Now let me print this information here. How it will represent it. System dot debug now JSON content. JSON content is I want to show. We can specify lead generator dot write as a string. There is a method called as get as string. That means whatever the JSON content is available, collect it as a string and then display on your debug log file. I want to display this. For that one, I'm using a ready-made method called as get as string. Now here I'm preparing the starting of that object, ending of the object. In that one, I'm writing only one element over here. For the key, a separate method. For the value, separate method we have. I will show you how to write both in a single method itself. Yeah, I will show you now. Now, let me invoke this. I'm invoking this method. So now JSON generator helper dot. What is my method name? Create JSON content. I'm executing this. Once you click on execute, we can see that result. It is generating the debug log file. So in the debug log file, we can able to see that content. Debug only. Now it is indicating that starting curly braces, ending curly braces. In between that, we are able to see first name colon. It will be indicating that Ram. Okay, first name it is indicating Ram. This is the content it is representing. The whole information will be getting visible inside this. Like the similar way, we are going to be adding. So now for this key, we have we have used the separate method. For the value, we have used separate method. Now I want to use both in a single step itself. So instead of using these two methods, I would like to use a single method itself. How can we do that? This is the string type of element. So that we can specify lead generator dot write string field. Write a string field. Here we can able to specify key and value both. I'm indicating the key as first name and the value as I'm indicating some Ram. Now let's save this information. Now let's try to execute this method. Now click on execute. Let's see the result. Same result we can able to fetch right now also. But previously we have used two methods, but now we have solved the problem with single method itself so that we can able to optimize that code. Like that we can able to implement. Like the similar way.
Sir?
Now. Yes.
Sir, now in this write string field, you have written the key value, key and value at a place so that for this particular key, this is taking the value. But in the prior one, field name was separate, string name was separate. We did not give any link between them. So how would it take for that particular key value? For that particular key, this is the value.
Now in this case here, whatever the key, write string write field name. After that, immediately whatever the method that we have used to specify the value, that value will be getting considered. First of all, it is adding the key and then it will be adding the value for direct.
Okay, means if we are writing that individually, first of all, we should write the key and immediately we should write the value.
Yes, correct. We have to indicate key and the value. Okay, key will be the first and the value will be the next.
Okay.
Okay. Next, I'm indicating lead generator dot write string. I'm indicating that last name. Last name, I'm indicating some Kumar. Lead generator dot write string field. I'm indicating the company name. Company, I'm indicating some IBM Incorporation. lead generated dot right string. I'm going to be indicating title. What is the title value I'm indicating? The sales manager. Lead generator dot right string. I'm indicating the rating value. Rating, I'm indicating some hearts. Lead generator dot right string value. I'm indicating that industry value. Industry, some manufacturing. Lead generator dot right string. I'm going to be indicating the like some phone. I'm indicating that sound. Lead generator dot right string field. Facts. Facts field. I'm indicating sound. Lead generator dot right number field. Right number field because I would like to pass that annual revenue. I'm indicating that annual revenue. Key name is annual revenue and the value is I'm indicating the value some 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs. Lead generator dot right string. I'm indicating the city name. City name I'm indicating like some like that. Suppose if you want to prepare the date, lead generator dot write birthday write date field. Write a date. We can able to specify. I'm indicating that. But the date, come on, indicating date dot new instance. I'm passing the value 1980, 5th month, and then 21st will be the date. Okay, we are specifying this information.
Rating value is a pick list, so you did not write the field over there, right, sir?
Yes, because the rating is a pick list, right? So that we can specify that heart value.
Okay.
So now here we are indicating this.
For rating, is it right string field or just right string only?
Sorry.
And if we do not specify value for the key in case of any methods, does it provide any other? Like
Yes, whenever we are using this method, we have to pass both the key and the values. If we did not pass any value, it will be throwing that error message. Method does not exist or incorrect signature. It will show that error message. Okay.
Okay.
So now let me execute. I'm preparing the lead record in the form of the JSON file. Now here I'm giving this example by hard coding these values. In the next example, I will show you how to prepare like this multiple lead record through programmatically with a very less number of lines of code. And there I would like to pass this value dynamically at runtime. That means whatever the lead record values are there, those values I would like to embed over here. How to do that, I will show you practically in the second example. Now, so let me execute this piece of code to see that information. Whatever the lead record that are represented, we can able to see that lead record information inside this. Select the debug only. Now we can able to see that JSON content only. It is preparing the JSON content, starting off the braces, and then first name value, comma, double quotation, colon, everything will be preparing by Salesforce itself. Those methods will taking care of that. And then, so now we are having last name, company, title, rating, industry, phone, fax, annual revenue. There is no, okay, because this is the we have used a method called as right number field. That's what it is not embedding inside the double quotations. And the city value, and then we are having the birth date value also. This is the format we are going to preparing through programmatically. Previously, we have prepared this format manually by writing that code, but now we can able to do it through programmatically also. That facility is available as part of this function, so that we can able to prepare this content also. We can prepare the JSON format of content, and then we can able to pass this JSON format of content to the third-party system, so that third-party system can collect these records. It is going to be storing inside the database as well. This is the way we are going to preparing the JSON content through programming with the help of JSON generator class. This is here we have hard coded these values. How to pass these values dynamically at runtime, we will see practically in this now the second example. We will have one more example on this one, how to collect the data from the database object. It may be having some collection of records, and how can we represent those collection of records in the form of the JSON format, okay, through programmatically by passing those values at runtime. We'll see practically in this case. So let me place this code inside this. Next one. Let's take one more small use case over. How to prepare the JSON format of representation for the multiple records. Whatever the multiple records are available, for those multiple records, how can we prepare the JSON format of representation? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, let me take a small use case. For example, let me verify how many account records are available. I'm having some 41 account records are available inside my object. I want to collect all these 41 records from my object. I want to represent these records into the JSON format. I want to represent all these 41 records into the JSON format through programmatically. How can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so let me take that use case. Write an Apex program to represent all the account records exist in the account object in the form of JSON format through program. How can we represent this records in the form of JSON format? Now let's see practically. So first of all, what needs to be done? Whatever the account records are available, we have to collect all those account records. So we have to collect all those account records available inside my account object, and then we are going to be iterating that each and every account record from starting to ending, and then we can able to prepare that information. So let's see how can we do this. I'm preparing that method. Public static void account records JSON. generator. So now account records JSON generator. So this is the method which I have prepared. So first of all, I need to collect all the account records. Now I'm collecting. Split staff account lst accounts equals to I'm collecting. Select ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue, So now let's see. I'm collecting this data from the object now through programmatically by making an SOAKable query. I'm collecting the account record ID, name value, rating, industry, annual revenue, and then I would like to collect the type and the phone, fax, active status from account. I'm collecting all the account records available inside my account object here. I would like to arrange these records in the alphabetical order. For that one, I'm using this order by name. Based on that name column, I'm going to be arranging the records in the alphabetical order. In ascending format, I'm going to be arranging the record based on that name. So then how can we represent this one? Now let's see practically in this case. So whatever the account records are available inside your collection, collect each and every account record from starting to ending, and then we can able to prepare the JSON format of content over here. So that I'm creating the JSON object right now. I'm giving the comment also. Get the records from the object. Create the JSON generator object. Create this JSON generator object. Now I'm using system.JSON generator, ACC generator, ACC gen accounts gen generator now equals to system.json.create generator. Create generator. I'm preparing the object of the JSON generator class. And from now onwards, okay, from now onwards. So what needs to be done? How the array will look now? How this one will be look like? Because we are having more number of records. So we have more number of records. So whenever we are representing either one record or multiple record, first of all, we have to specify the braces, right? Like when we go to the array also, previously we have discussed about the array. So now here in this case, this is the array representation we have used. So here also, this is the array representation. This is the array name, but this whole content is available inside the braces. So we have to specify the starting of the braces ending of the braces. Then we can specify the array name and then start that array. In that one, we can able to prepare the objects. Now the center process we have to write. In this case, first of all, I'm using this ACC generator dot write start object. ACC generator dot write end object. Write start object and write end object. Now, after that, we are going to be using this information. So now in this case, I need to write that information. What is that information? I need to specify the field name, and then the value will be of type what? Array. So that this is the starting of the array. So that here I'm indicating this. ACC generated dot type field name. I'm indicating array name. So for that collection, there is a LST account. So I'm indicating. You can give any name over here. LST account records. Or simply account records. Account records. So what is the value? The value will be array over. Okay? The value will be an array. So in this case, whatever the element is available for this one, that element will be an array over here. Okay, that element will be an array. So now here in this case, we have to specify that array also over here. So that I'm indicating ACC generated dot write start array. And then we have to indicate that write end array. ACC generated dot write end array. Here the starting of the array, here the ending of the array. In that array, we have to prepare that element. Okay. Now because here the element name has specified that starting of the array, ending of the array. In this one, we have to specify the elements. When these elements need to be get specified, suppose if the collection is an empty collection, if the account records collection size is 0, then what we can write inside that? Nothing. So for that one, I need to specify each and every record I would like to collect. Before that, I will need to verify whether this collection is empty or not. I need to verify if the LST accounts is not empty. If the collection is not empty. If the collection is not empty, then we need to add collect each and every account record. Okay, we need to collect each and every account record. We need to add it as an array over here. Okay, we need to add each and every element as an array over here. So then how can we add this? For each and every account record, ACC from LST accounts. Each and every account record from the collection, I'm iterating from starting to ending by using enhanced for loop. Each and every account record we have to write in the form of an object, because here this is one opportunity record, so we have written in the form of one object. This is the second object over here. This is the third object. Like that, we have to prepare in the form of object. So object means what? Starting of that array is available over here. Starting of the object, ending of the object. So here we are going to prepare. Now, represent each record in the form of an object. For that one, I'm using account generator dot write start object. Account generator dot write end object. And then here we can able to specify the elements one by one. Okay. Now we are preparing this element. First one is name. Each and every field here. What are the fields are available in my account object? ID, name, rating, all this information here. So I'm indicating this information over here. Now, for that one, I'm writing this information. Now, account generator dot write ID field. Like as write string field, write number field, like the similar way, write ID field. What is that field name over here? The field name is ID. What is the value? The value is available inside my ACC dot Okay. Now I'm making it as dynamic. Previously, I made it as static over here. Previously, I have hard coded the value, but now I'm collecting this value dynamically from my record. Each and every record I'm collecting, that record value I'm placing inside this. Yes. ACC generated dot. Second one is name. Name is of type what? String field. Right, string field. What is the name of that field? The field name is name. What is the value? ACC dot name. Name value. Next. ACC generator, nothing but account generated dot right string field. Next one, rating value. I'm collecting the field name is rating, and then ACC dot ACC generated dot right string field. We can pass industry. I'm passing this industry value. ACC dot industry. Next, what other fields? Annual revenue in the type. ACC generated dot right number field. I'm indicating annual revenue. ACC dot annual revenue. ACC generated dot right string field. The field name is type. I'm indicating that value ACC dot ACC generated dot right string field. I'm passing that phone. Phone ACC dot like the similar way fax. Account generated dot right string field fax field. ACC dot fax. Account generated dot right string field active status. Active underscore underscore C ACC dot. Like that, I'm writing this information. Now, whenever I'm representing this information, that means what? So now this is the piece of code. Now your collection may be having 1,000 records, also 2,000, also 10,000, also no problem. It will prepare that code. Now, so now here in this, what we did, we are going to be indicating this information. We are preparing this each and every field, and then we are going to be adding this element over here. So this is the way we are going to be representing this content. So whatever the account records are available inside my account object, those account records we can able to represent in the form of that JSON format to programmatically by using this JSON generator class. So now first of all, I'm preparing the starting of the object and then ending of the object. And then I'm indicating the field name, and then I'm writing that key value as the array. In that array, I'm going to starting that multiple object. This is the one object. Each and every record will be preparing like as a separate object, and then second record will be second object, third record will be third object, like that. Now, here there is a small question. We can raise a question, sir. For example, if there is any record is there in that one of the field value is empty, then what will happen? It will throw the error message to you. It will throw the error message. Let me show you practically. So let me invoke this method. Let me invoke this method. Now it is indicating there is a field is available whose value is null. Okay, there is a field is available, so whose value is null. But now here we are trying to be writing that value null. So in this case, whenever you are trying to be writing the value null through string field, it won't accept. Then what we need to do, if you want to write that string field, then we have to specify that. Okay, we have to pass that value. So in this case, let me verify the records. So now there are some records are available whose value is null. See, for example, for Delphi Chemicals, type value is null, active status is null. And then let me display those records also. For these records, let me place this field value, site value I don't want. I'm displaying that phone, and the facts also I want to display. Now, account name, rating, industry, and then type, phone, annual revenue, facts, active status. Let me represent this content. So in this case, for most of the record, few field values are empty. For one record, phone is empty. Active status is empty for few records. Industry is empty for few records. Then what we can do? In this case, it is raising some exception. Always it is expecting the exact type of value, string value, numerical, not null. If it is a null, then what we can do? If it is a null, then what we can do? So at that time, now what we need to do is, for some of the field, the phone value is empty. Then I need to cross check that. Upon writing this a phone field, I need to cross check this condition. If ACC dot phone value not equals to null. If the phone value is not equals to null, then R ACC dot phone value not equals to empty. Then only we can able to write that information. If the value is not null, if the value is not empty, then only write this information. Suppose if it is a null, then what we can do? Then we can specify ACC generated dot write null field. Okay, write null field. What is that field name over here? That is phone. We can able to pass phone automatically. For this field, it is writing the value as null. The facility is available, so that we have to cross check the conditions. We have to cross check the condition. If the ACC dot phone, nothing but if the phone field value is not null, if the phone field value not empty, then only write that nothing but it is adding some value. That means at that time use this write string field method and then write that value, or else make this a field value as null. For that one, we are having a separate method called as write null field. Now, in this case, for few fields, type value is also empty, nothing but null. Then what we can do? In this case, I need to check the conditions here. Here, what I want to do is, if I'm writing this kind of this kind of conditions, it will take more 9 lines of code. For that one, what I want to do is, so now write string field. Okay, write a string field. So now here in this case, here what we can do? In this kind of functionality, how can we implement this functionality over here? Instead of writing that more lines of code, how can we do this? Do we have any other alternative way?
I can.
Then what we can do?
Can we
Write the
try
instead of individual.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
But if you can use try catch.
Try catch is for the exception handling.
Write condition on the string field instead of individual.
Okay, can we do like this here instead of directly passing this value? Okay, can we add one condition over here? So write string field, this is the type. I would like to add one condition over. What I want to do is I would like to use the ternary operator over here. Here I'm using acc dot type. Okay, acc dot type value. If acc dot type value here, this is the type field is available inside my account object here. If the type field value not equals to null, if the type field value not equals to null, then I would like to pass this value here acc dot type. Or else I would like to pass a value null. Or else I would like to pass a value. So let's try to save this code. Now, in this case, observe this one here. Then what I'm doing in this case, because the ternary operator we have used. Now the type value, nothing but this is the string field we are writing over here. Upon storing the preparing this field, if this particular field value is not equals to null, that means if the field value is there, then write that value over here. Or else, okay, or else pass that value. This is what I'm writing over. Now, let me try to execute. It is indicating the null pointer exception. Okay, null arguments are for JSON dot write string field. Now, line number 178. Upon preparing the content over here. Now, what are the other fields out there which are having null, like as active status fields? For the type we have added, for the phone number we have added over here. And for the active status is also having some null, rating also, industry also, and the facts also. Industry also I would like to specify. ACC dot industry. Not equals to null. Then I'm indicating this. Or else as a value. Rating also, I'm indicating this. ACC dot rating not equals to null. Then I would like to pass the rating value. Else I would like to pass the value. If there is any facts values, I'm going to indicate. If ACC dot facts not equals to null, then I'm going to pass in this facts value, or else I would like to pass the value.
Sir, in
Active
line
status
27 and 28.
Active status. Active status not equals to null. Then I would like to pass that value active status, or else I would like to pass the value. Let me save this code.
Sir, in line 30, after account dot type is not equal to null, you have placed an open bracket.
So now let's see how can we do this one. So now let me save this code again. I'm opening that same class. Let me save this class again. So what is the problem in this code? In the line 30.
Line 30 after null.
Null accepted.
Now, so now let me try to execute this piece of code in order to collect all the records and represent those account records in the form of JSON file. But the whole records may not be able to print on the debug log file, because debug log file is having the limitation that debug log file can able to show the content of maximum of the 2 MB of content, not more than that. Let me try to invoke this. Click on execute. Now again it is going to be raising that exception, nullifying that exception for a few
Feroz,
more
your voice
fields.
is very low, Feroz.
Now, is it fine now? Now let me check for the remaining fields also. Annual revenue is available for all the fields. For few other records, annual revenue value also empty. So we need to add the condition for that part also. For annual revenue also I'm indicating this.
I think we should add for all of this rating in
Yes, for all
this.
the things we need to add that. Okay, except the mandatory fields. For the remaining fields we need to add it over.
Yes.
Okay, that actual annual revenue value not equals to null, then we can able to pass that annual revenue value, or else we can able to pass the value. Now for the rating field also we have added. For the name we no need to add, because name is a mandatory. ID will be generating by Salesforce automatically. So let me save this code. Now let me execute it. Now again it is raising that same exception. So instead of using this one, better we have to write this method separately. Multiple conditions we need to write over here, because it is not storing that value null inside that directly over here. So better we can able to pass that value as well.
Sir, for active underscore C, we have to write boolean field, na? For active underscore C.
No. This is a active underscore C is a pickest field in Salesforce, which is having the 2 values. Okay, yes or no.
Yeah, okay, fine, sir.
Okay, that's what here I'm adding that the null value, or else I'm indicating this one. Okay, it's not the boolean field over there. Okay. So now it is not accepting this particular condition directly inside that. Better we need to go with the two separate methods over here. Okay, two methods we need to write. So now let me go with this part as well. So let me verify the condition. For each and everything, I would like to verify if ACC dot rating value not equals to null or ACC dot rating not equals to empty. Then I would like to write that string field. If the field value is available, then I am going to writing that string field. Rating, I would like to pass the rating value. Else, I would like to pass account generation dot write null field. Write null field over here. I'm indicating. So whatever the fields are available which may be having some null values, for that one we have to write this condition. If ACC dot industry field, if it is not equals to null, or ACC dot industry not equals to empty, then I would like to collect that value. Then I would like to collect that industry value. I'm passing this industry value over here. Else, I'm passing this industry value. Null value, right null field. Right null field, I'm going to passing this value. Like the similar way, same conditions I'm going to apply for the remaining fields also. ACC dot annual revenue value not equals to null. Then I would like to write that value. I'm writing that number field. And then else, I'm writing that ACC generator dot write null field. Revenue. I'm adding the condition. If ACC dot type not equals to null or ACC dot type not equals to empty, I'm passing this value. Else ACC generator dot write null field. I'm writing the null value for the type. For phone field, we have already added. Let me add for the facts also. If ACC generated dot facts is not equals to null or ACC dot facts not equals to empty. Then I'm going to be writing the string field value, because facts is of type string. Else I'm writing that null value. Write null field. And then I'm writing the active status. Active status not equals to null or active status not equals to empty. I'm adding this one. Right null field, I'm adding this active underscore underscore. That's it. So now we have added each and every field over here. Let me verify what is the syntactical mistake.
In line 40, sir.
So now let me execute this piece of code. So we have prepared the conditions. So for each and every field, we have verified the condition. Upon writing this, the content through programmatically, if that field, if the in the record, if the field is not having the value, it is raising that exception. So to avoid that problem, we are going to be adding the proper conditions inside that before adding that element to that JSON content. Let me execute this piece of null pointer exception again. Why it is showing that null value again?
Sir, in query, do we wrote that column name?
Yes, name we are collecting the rating, industry, annual revenue, type also, phone, tax, active, all this column we are fetching. ID also, name also. And we are collecting this ID, name, and then rating value, and the industry, and the annual revenue, type, phone, tax, and the active status. All the columns I have collected. So let me try to execute this again. Null pointer exception, null argument for JSON generator write string. At line number 178. Let me check. Let me go to the debug logs. Enable the debug logs. Let me wait. Go to the logs. Debug log. I'm removing the existing debug logs generated by Salesforce as of now. Now renewal these log files. So now from now onwards here, whenever I'm executing this piece of code, debug log will be getting the rate. Let me invoke this. We'll track where exactly the problem. It is causing this issue. Let me check debug log has been generated after. Now let's see. View the debug log file where is a problem. This is the problem. Variable assignment, okay, list of size 41 too large to display. Because more number of records are available, it is going to be raising that exception. So let me take some 20 records. Instead of collecting all, let me take some 20 records. We'll make some 20. Let me execute this piece of code. Again, the same exception. For example, sometime.
Because you are not saving the code. Maybe the
problem is due to.
Save that code.
Okay.
Save this code also. Even though if I'm giving the line number 178 in the code. The rating value, industry.
I think it is coming due to date field.
No, date field is not available, right? We are not collecting any date field over there. About insurance. It is raising the null pointer exception, null pointer value for the record. Right string field. Let me check. Here's the ID. Here's the name field. Annual revenue.
It's not showing any error in code, sir. But it is.
Code is perfect. Syntactical wise, there is no issue in that code. This also string field or else null.
Or else try to copy the code and create one another class, sir.
Let me try. Let me check it out, that one. That is the issue. So let me try to execute this same code from the execute anonymous window. They're also the same.
But in the right name field, you are not giving one parameter.
For the name.
Right name field.
No, for the name field.
The
Right string field. We
right
have
null
passed
field.
that name and then have given that acc.name. Let me check for the null condition also for this one. Sorry?
In the null field, right null field, you are giving rating, and one more field is, I guess, missing over. That's why it's raising.
We are passing this industry, annual revenue, right null field also we have given. For type also null field, for phone also null field.
For annual
Tax.
revenue, we have only created null field, sir. Annual revenue.
Annual revenue, and then we have given that null field, right? Create right null field,
Only
and
null
then I'm
field.
indicating annual.
If condition, sir.
If condition. If condition.
Because here, okay. Because here is the annual revenue, nothing but decimal, right? We can't compare with the empty. Number values,
Okay.
ID values, okay, we can just compare with that null. That's what I have given only null condition.
Null, right null field, we have only one parameter, I guess, only annual revenue in the.
Annual revenue is that only null, because this is a number, the decimal value, right? Numerical values you can compare with only with null, not with the empty.
Sir, I'm talking about the else part. ACC gen dot right null field.
Given empty value.
So it will have only one parameter, annual revenue.
It will have only one. Here also, right? Null field, only the field name. In that one, the value will be, it will be rating like as null. Let me check it out for this. Listing the name field also. ACC dot name not equals to null. Same issue.
Sir, you given unconditioned there, not R condition.
Same issue. Not equals to NC.
Sir, can we comment all the lines and we'll write only for one field? Then we can try.
Okay, let me check where will be the problem for this. So let me comment the most of the fields. Okay, let me try for only one field. And then we'll first we'll enable each and every field, then we'll track it out where exactly the problem over there. Let me save this code. In the name field, there is no problem. It is going to be writing this information. And let me enable the rating field also. In this rating field, it is causing some issue. I'm writing this rating field.
So can pickles be
Rating field SSC dot rating, or else you can able to write that field value as rating as empty.
Sir, can we comment rating field alone and we'll try for other fields?
Yeah, we can try that one.
Yeah.
Sir, it is a
Rating it is a
pickle and
list,
you
right?
don't have a null value, right?
Sorry?
Sir, can pick list have
Rating
a
it
null?
is
Yes, it will be having null value, right? If you did not select anything, it will be having the default value null.
Okay.
Let me check for the remaining. Again, it is causing that same issue.
Sir, for phone and fax, we are comparing with the null value here.
Because that is the string type. Phone and fax is equals to the null value. Let me compare with only with the null.
Yeah.
Sir, will be this any server issue if you log out and log in once? Will it do anything?
No, it may not be server issue.
Instead of write null
think
field, can we write null, sir?
I think
So right now
Feroz,
we
it is
can't
happening
specify that.
only for Feroz, it is happening only for the pick list values.
No, only for the pick list field it is indicating that issue.
Yes, sir.
Let me
Comment
do it.
on the pick list values and we can try once.
Because we will be having so many pick list values, right? So at that time it will be an issue. Then let me verify this one. If it is null, then else add this one. If the rating value is equals to null, if the rating value is equals to null or empty, then we are going to be writing that null field, and then or else I'm going to be writing this string field. SEC.rating. Let me execute this. This is the problem. So we have to check that. We have to write that null condition first. We need to make it reverse. If it is a null, I'm adding that null condition first. Else I'm going to be writing this. The fax value is equals to null. I would like to write that fax value. So now we have specified that null conditions. So now if it is equals to null, then we are going to be writing that null value, or else we are going to be writing this string value. So let me execute this piece of code. Now it has executed properly. So this is the order of preference it is giving over here. First of all, it is going to be writing that null. So we need to cross check that condition. Generally, in that normal conditional statements, we can able to use either not null also, but as part of this JSON format, it is checking for the null first, so that it is going to be adding that null value first. So first of all, we have to check that value. If that field value is equals to null, then only we can able to write the null value, or else we can able to specify this condition. Now, once the whole string has been getting prepared, then I would like to represent that string on my debug log file. Maybe that entire string may not be able to display on the debug log file because it will be having more content. Debug log file can able to represent maximum of 2 MB of content, not more than that. System.debug JSON content is ACC generator dot get as string. I'm going to be collecting this whole information. I'm going to be representing on my debug log file over here in the form of a string file. Now let me execute this piece of code. Let me execute. Go to the debug log file. Select the debug only checkbox. Now we are able to see this content. This is the starting of that braces, nothing but this is the object format, the JSON. So JSON content is, and then we have given that record key value, key name as account records, and then we have started that array. From that one, we are creating one object. This is the ID value, name value, rating, industry, annual revenue, type value is null for this record here. Now phone, fax is also null, active status also null. Because whenever we are having the pick list fields inside your object, if you did not select any value inside this pick list field, upon creating this record, if the field is not having any value, for example, assume that if I am giving this rating value as empty, none, then it will be saving that value as null inside that. Empty means what? Null inside the database. So it will be indicating empty, but in the database it will store the default value as null. So that here we are going to verify this conditions. And then this is the object is over up to this part. This is the second object. That means second account record ID, name, rating, industry, values. Like that here we can able to see the account record IDs information also inside this. This is how we are going to preparing the JSON format of content for multiple records also. Not only one record, multiple records also we can collect from the database, and we can able to represent those records in the form of the JSON format, and this JSON format of content we can able to send to the third-party systems also. So the third-party system will be collecting this JSON format, and then it will be passing into their own type, and then they are good. That means it will be deserializing this JSON content into their own object format, and then they can able to store this data in their database as well. This is the way we are going to preparing the JSON format of content. Like as we can prepare that format through manually through programming also. It may be one record, it may be multiple records also. This is one way we have done. Nothing but serialization we have done as of. Deserialization we'll see in the next session. In the next session, how can we deserialize the content by using JSON parser classes? JSON generator is used to generate that JSON content through programmatically. JSON parser class is used to parse the content. Parsing the content means what? We are going to be deserializing that content from string format to your respective object type. So for that one, how to use this JSON parser classes, we'll see practically, and then through programmatically also we'll see by using deserialize methods over there. Okay. The integration session will be on next Saturday morning at 8 o'clock.
Sir, small doubt.